Thanks, March for Science, for hosting this Earth Day celebration. We are Youth Climate Collaborative. We envision a world that enables young leaders to elevate their voice and maximize their impact. We envision a world in which young people are at the center of the decisions that affect their lives and those of future generations. We aim to revolutionize the role of young people in society. We are a youth-led global community of young leaders and their allies collaborating to slow climate change in connection with the other sustainable development goals. Now, who do we work with? We prioritize working with youth around ages 13 to 30 and allies, so retirees, other adults, organizations, and more, globally, who are impacted by and vulnerable to climate change while contributing the least harm. According to the IPCC's fifth assessment report, these are socially and geographically disadvantaged people, including people facing discrimination based on gender, age, race, class, caste, indigeneity, and disability. Our approach to strategic design is to listen to our community's needs and respond with programs and tools to help them thrive. Well, what's the problem? We wish to address social and generational equity within the context of sustainable development to ensure the distribution of well-being over space and promote temporal sustainability of a well-being decision. According to Agenda 21 of the UN Conference on Environment and Development, youth are one of the 9 major groups of civil society that is a major stakeholder with the right and responsibility to participate in sustainable development. They make up more than 17% of the global population, or 1.2 billion people who are aged 15 to 24, so even more for the 13 to 30 range, with 87% living in developing countries. Intergenerational equity validates the need for the active involvement and participation of young people and consideration of unborn generations, whose well-being may be compromised by actions of older generations. Intragenerational equity is relevant because within a generation, particular populations are more vulnerable and likely to bear the impacts of climate change compared to others. R. Farthing, in issue 109 of Youth and Policy, writes that benefits of youth participation are widely touted within youth development fields as inherently good for young people in society. Yet, according to a paper by S. Makwana, the primary obstacle to meaningful youth participation in adult-led organizations and institutions is adults' refusal to share power with youth and the belief that youth are not capable and responsible partners. This makes youth miss their opportunity to develop their skills and participate effectively before they're adults. A paper in the Journal of Community Psychology in 2007 writes that most youth programs designed to improve civic development focus on personal, cognitive, and social skills instead of looking to challenge the status quo and create equitable societies through social transformation. Now, we're looking to spurt that transformation with the community. Now, before we continue, we want to give a shout out to the Kennebunkport Climate Initiative, or KCI. They are our funders and partners in this important work that we're doing. Be sure to check out their website at kportclimate.org and sign up to be an ambassador. Check out the link tree there. I'm going to turn it over to my friend David now.
Thanks, Pooja. From our own experience and through conversations, we have learned that barriers youth face in getting and remaining involved in the environmental and climate spaces include financial need, difficulty, and limited time to find opportunities. Furthermore, there is emotional challenges and a lack of relevant knowledge and skills, low representation in the workplace, and a lack of youth involvement in decision-making spaces. In addition, youth and environmental entities located in each other, often leading similar initiatives, but have difficulty identifying potential partners because it is cumbersome and time-consuming. Based on our experience, research, and through our virtual roundtables with global and youth partners, we have designed 5 offerings. The first is, as you can see, our Eco Action Map. After creating an account on our website, entities and individuals can create and map listings of entities, events, artists, mentors, and opportunities for work, funding, and more. This is essentially a Yelp for the environmental and climate community, whereby users can use a search bar on Zoom or zoom into the map to any location and see what opportunities in the environmental space exist near them. This will help users learn how they can get involved and spotlight potential partners for collaboration. Users can connect with each other using the chat feature and organize events and joint events. This collaboration has the potential to build community while saving time and resources. Our second offering is the Climate Courage Workshops. To help youth build their emotional resilience to be ready to begin work or remain working in these spaces, we offer these workshops twice per month. The purpose of the workshops is multifold. Firstly, they create a space which supports young leaders to lean into their feelings about the climate crisis and to make room for the safe expression of these feelings. Secondly, they assist young leaders in the creation of a self-care plan to sustain them for the long term. Finally, the workshops support these leaders in creating a vision for themselves as transformational climate leaders in their communities. We hope employers see the demand of our workshops and learn to provide similar workshops for their employees. Our third area of work is our Youth Allies Initiative, through which we aim to encourage entities, governments, and others to provide meaningful leadership opportunities for youth in their decision-making spaces. Thus, we are currently interviewing organizations which are working on this and have youth advisory councils, youth board members, or other structures. This summer, we will publish a report, The State of Youth Allies in the United States, to share the lessons learned and success stories of these organizations and encourage replication of successful models. Next, we hope to publish an international edition and afterwards work with entities to implement various models which place youth at the center of decision making. We hope our efforts increase opportunities for youth, especially of underrepresented populations, to serve as leaders in their communities and challenge the assumption that youth are not capable and responsible partners. I'll pass the rest to Ben.
Thanks, David, and also thanks, Pooja, for the intro. There are two other efforts that YCC is embarking on that I think are also really important. The first one is our Eco Comedy Club, and that is a way for us to teach youth about storytelling and also using comedy as a means to communicate about environmental and climate information. I think the reason I was chosen for this role is because I created a lettuce eating club at my university, the University of Washington. And I think that's a very perfect case study to show the ways that comedy can lure people in, not lure, but bring people in and have a nice way to open up the discussion to talk about these kind of environmental and climate destabilization topics. So eco-comedy, it might seem almost like an oxymoron, but comedy, we're trying to explore the ways that you can bring people in with comedy and then start having those deeper discussions. So our eco-comedy club, it will allow youth to sharpen their storytelling skills and have a fun, lighthearted means to communicate about our environment and climate change and just share their stories, really. You know, speaking about climate destabilization can be a pretty doom and gloom topic. So I think it's important that we approach these with an appeal to youth and also increase peer-to-peer, peer-to-community education and storytelling on these topics. I'll tell you a little bit about what the Lettuce Eating Club is. It's basically everybody shows up with a head of lettuce, and the first person to finish their head of lettuce is crowned the lettuce king or the lettuce queen, or the head of lettuce is what the title is. So it's just kind of a silly way to get people involved. It's just so out of the box, but it brings people in and then they can talk about these kind of things. Our second initiative that we're embarking on is a roundtable between our BIPOC community, our BIPOC youth and employers, because we're really looking for ways to bring BIPOC community members into the environmental and climate career space. It is a very white-dominated career space, and the leadership at these entities, we believe, really needs to reflect the beautiful diversity in our country and especially around the world. So we're starting a roundtable discussion between BIPOC community members and employers to find ways to create a job pipeline that fosters inclusion and fosters BIPOC community in these decision-making spaces. So with our roundtables, we aim to boost collaboration to diversify workplaces and strengthen inclusion so that underrepresented populations know and feel that they belong. So for the extra fun part, we invite you to join our global community and attend our upcoming launch party. So we are about to host 3 different launch parties for our website that you got to see earlier. These will be Friday, May 7th at 9 p.m. and Sunday, May 9th at 11 p.m. Those are both Eastern time, and those will both be in English. So Friday night and Sunday morning are in English, and then we have a Spanish launch party happening on Saturday at 11 a.m. And this is May 8th. So this is that weekend, May 7th, May 8th, May 9th. Saturday is the Spanish one. Friday night, Sunday morning, we have English ones. During our launch party, we will give a live demo of how to create an account on our website and post listings on the Eco Action Map to share opportunities with your peers. So please visit us at youthcc.org. Sign up for our newsletter. That's down there. And lastly, we'd like to thank March for Science again for hosting us and all of the other work that they do. So big shout out there, big shout out to March for Science, and check out YCC. We do some great work. So thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. So for David and Pooja and myself, we really appreciate it. And check us out.
Thank you.